The thoughts and opinions expressed by Marcus B814 are not necessarily the thoughts and opinions expressed by those of the working class nerds. One of the most unhealthy habits in high school was I'd take a whole, right after track practice, come home from school, and then just like scoop them out with a spoon. Suck down the milk.
Hey, I'm Marcus.
I'm Atrax.
And I'm Nick.
We are working class nerds.
Cue the intro. That's right, we are Working Class Nerds, the podcast that gives you no information about your favorite information.
Today is Thursday, May 11th, 2023, and you can find this Tears of the Kingdom 197 podcast on Apple Podcasts, Buzzsprout, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, and anywhere you can find a podcast in all of the different spots in Hyrule.
You can also find every single Working Class Nerds episode on YouTube. Just search for the Working Class Nerds podcast or go to youtube.com/@ Working Class Nerds. Click on playlists, click on Working Class Nerds, and boom! Every single episode, past and present, right at your fingertips.
You can watch me terribly play video games Tuesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays at twitch.tv/MarcusB814.
You can watch me play video games every single Monday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/NickVern51.
We're all on the social medias. I am at MarcusB814.
I am at Atrax_A.
And I'm at Nick Vern. That's an ACKVR. And in this week's episode, we're getting philosophical. That's right. You're seeing right into our brains the good, the bad, the ugly, and the cat videos. We're diving into why we game. Why we game. What we like about it, and all of the details. But
It's all
first,
about gaming.
Atrax, speaking of gaming, what have you been up to?
Well, I had first... not right after the episode, but shortly after the episode on Friday night last week, I drove over to my mom's house. She lives across town about an hour because she was very close to where my buddy was getting married on Saturday. So did kind of a combo, spent time with the family, then went and hung out at my buddy's wedding, which was super great.
Nice.
He had the ceremony, or I should say they had the ceremony and the reception all on like one location. So it was upstairs was kind of the ceremony area. And then you walked across the room or across the hall to where they had a bunch of food and stuff. And you would grab your food and go downstairs into the main auditorium where they had all the dancing and the cake and the DJ and, you know, all the usual wedding stuff there.
Nice.
So the cake was not a lie?
It was no, actually it kind of was in this case because I think it was a tiramisu. I don't think they actually had a cake.
What the?
Come on.
That's blasphemy. Like,
Well,
you can get all weird and like
Portland.
crazy with your own like version of a wedding, but you can't fuck up the wedding cake.
It was pretty good though, I will say.
But what
It-
if you're
it was
allergic
pretty
to
great.
chocolate but lie about it?
Then I don't know. I guess you just don't eat it. There was cheesecake there. And the
Oh.
cheesecake was pretty good.
Yeah, that's not a
Cheese-
wedding cake.
No, cheesecake is epic. I think that's Marcus and I's favorite dessert. We were chatting
Yeah.
close to it. Between that and ice cream for me. But it's not wedding cake. Like, get some just cake. You gotta do the cutting thing, like, even if you're not for circumstance, like, I don't know. I feel like a wedding without a cake is weird.
Well, my wedding we did cake pops.
Yeah, but you had cake, something.
Oh yeah, there was cake there. It
And
was
you-
not
you-
just cake pops. We had
Yeah.
cake.
And you had a cake that you cut, even if it was just for ceremony. I don't know. No, you did maybe not. You know what? Your wedding is real foggy. Because I had a lot to drink beforehand. I just went back in the file cabinet, opened the file labeled Marcus's wedding, and it was just a dusty folder.
Done.
Well, you and Matt
404
drank.
files not found.
Exactly. I was like, wait a minute.
I was in a hotel room with my 5 closest friends in the morning. I was hungover as shit, and Nick and Matt were drank an entire bottle of Fireball to themselves before the wedding.
Yeah, and I drank definitely more than 10 beers on top of that before the wedding as well.
Yeah, because we got
Wow.
on the trolley.
Yeah.
We got on the trolley with the coolers, and all the girls were like, "Where's all the booze?" And we were like,
Whoa.
It just vanished. I don't know what happened.
We must have left it in the room. Don't mind my breath smelling like big red gum. Okay.
Oh, that's funny.
All right,
Yeah.
sorry, Atrax. See,
No,
wedding
it's okay.
talk opens up this.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this one wasn't that quite crazy, but it was still a ton of fun, dancing and food and snacks and hanging out with people, all the good stuff. So that was the weekend. And then this week, like most weeks, I don't know, I just come home exhausted, and Marcus gives me this like, oh, sad small violin. Oh, poor Atrax, poor Nick coming home tired. But nah, yeah. Yeah. I'm just exhausted. All I can do when I come home is what I need to clean up the house and take care of the house stuff, and then play video games. I just can't. I'm too addicted to video games. Like, I'll admit it. Just, I have to play at least for a little bit. So I really want to create gaming content, but then also at the same time, I just want to play video games after coming home from 8 hours of moving metal around. You know, Marcus?
I completely get it. I have to unwind too. I mean, I played Jedi Survivor for like 5 minutes on lunch break just because.
Yeah.
It's nice to just like do a little something for yourself, you know, whatever that is, even if it's not video games, but like just being like, I'm going to play a game because I want to for me. After you've been like working all day, which you might not necessarily want to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like a way to
exactly.
like psychologically, you take a little control of your day back. It's like, yeah, I'm doing this for me.
Yeah.
Feels good. And it like recharges your like social battery, whatever.
Right.
Your mood battery, I'll say. Not social.
Yep.
But
Mood battery, social battery, refilling the bucket, all that
Totally.
good stuff. So, because of that strong desire to play video games, I am back into the World of Warcraft. Right now, Dragonflight is free to play if you have a subscription to World of Warcraft. So you don't have to buy it. It is also on sale. That's how Blizzard is trying to get people to play. And, I mean, it worked for me. I already own Dragonflight, but I was willing to at least come back and give it a try. And I did because Season 2 is coming up soon. New raid, all the good stuff. And I'm having a lot of fun like I did last season, or last expansion, I guess I should say, in Shadowlands. I asked a couple of people that play regularly in the guild, the Kitchen Table Warriors, that I play in World of Warcraft, and they suggested, so back in Shadowlands, the Demon Hunter class had what I can do, and I'm not super versed in like all the World of Warcraft terminology and everything, but the gameplay I can best describe it as is 1 or 2 buttons expends energy to fill up combo points to then let you press 1 or 2 other buttons that do a lot of damage. Like it's a very basic kind of charge up and use system. Well, that was how the Demon Hunter played. You had 1 or 2 abilities that you used to charge up your energy or whatever it was, and then those at certain energy levels you could use certain abilities. Some of them were AoE, some of them were single target damage. But then they changed how Demon Hunter played now in this expansion, and I don't find it nearly as fun. It's like too many buttons. There's just a lot going on, and they changed the way things stack and your energy levels charge. I don't know. It was completely confusing me. I gave up on it. I was like, I'm done. So I asked around, hey, was there any classes that currently play like the Demon Hunter used to play back in Shadowlands? And shout out to Kitchen from the Kitchen Table Warriors for the recommendation of Outlaw Rogue, the swashbuckling pirate style. You've got a sword, you've got a pistol. You can expend your energy to gain combo points, and then you use those combo points to deal out a ton of damage. And I can actually survive through very basic mobs now, and I'm leveling, and I'm going through. I completed the first zone today before we started recording the podcast. So I'm super excited to be back into World of Warcraft.
It's really, it's always hard with an MMO when they do their nerfs and buffs to classes.
Yeah.
Because, like what was probably happening, the Demon Hunter was probably way too strong because it was really easy to play. So they had to nerf it somehow. But I fucking hate when they add buttons and like it becomes a typing game, kind of like StarCraft.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That's why I stopped DPSing in SWTOR in raids. Because the amount of buttons that I have to hit at the perfect time, I was just like, fuck this. I'll just tank. And it's like 10 buttons max.
Right.
Oh, I got to survive, hit this button. Oh, do this. And just guide the boss and just don't get hit by the stuff.
And stay out of the red circles of death.
Red circles, right.
I'm not opposed to having a bunch of abilities as options, but when your core rotation is like press buttons 1, 3, 4, 7, 6, 8, 9, 3, 2, 4, like let me hit like 1, 1, 1, 1, 4, 1, 1, 1, 3, 1,
well,
1,
You can do that for regular enemies. Like, but you can't do that in a raid. Like, that's when you really have to, like, hone your character.
If I had to guess, though, I'm sure Atrax wants to do optimal damage all the time. Like, I'm assuming Atrax keeps it top tier.
If I can... You're absolutely right, Nick. I do. I try to be effective in terms of if I'm going to be going through the lower level zones and I know my end goal is to be raiding, then I want to learn my rotation as early as possible and get into that groove of, okay, well, what do I need to know and, build up into that. But you're right that the normal enemies, I guess you don't have to try as hard, and I don't. The one thing that I really enjoy in Dragonflight, the new flying mechanic that they have in Dragonflight, they have a bunch of races now that you can do, and getting gold times on some of those races has been pretty challenging, but it's still a lot of fun, and you get rewards and stuff for those too. So that's another kind of cool thing that they've added in this expansion is the races that you can do with your flying, with your Dragonflight flying. Nice. And it's been good times. And also the Blast Paris Major, it is going on, the final major tournament for Counter-Strike Global Offensive. The next major tournament will be Counter-Strike Source 2. So it is going off pretty good. The matches are happening a lot of times either right when I'm getting ready to go to work or while I'm at work. So I haven't been able to watch them live, but I've been catching them up. At least the ones that I enjoy, the teams that I enjoy watching, I've been watching those matches after work while I'm playing some WoW. And in CSGO, they have a pick'em challenge. You can buy a major pass, and then you can they let you participate in pick'ems, which, traditional tournament pick'ems. Which team do you think is going to advance 3-0? Which team do you think is going to get knocked out without winning a match, 0-3? Which pick 7 teams to advance. If you get 5 of them right, then you gain a level on your coin, which you purchase with your pass. Your pass comes with a coin. And so every stage that you get right, challengers, legends, champions, and so forth, you can increase your tier of your coin. So you start off with bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and then diamond, I think, are the tiers. I know that diamond's the last tier. I don't know if platinum or gold are one, but I got the silver coin. I got 5 of them right, at least 5. Voted for all my favorite teams. They're all winning. They're all doing good. Liquid was very concerning. They went down 0-2 or maybe 0-3. I'm not sure. And then they literally they were one game away from being eliminated, but they survived. They are now made it through to the next stage. So go Liquid, North American hope. Super, super hype for the continuation of the Blast Paris major that is going on for CSGO. It's been a great tournament so far.
That's awesome.
Yes. And the last thing, my last bullet point that I know Marcus is super excited about, but I'm going to mention it too. Go Town, I got a key for the demo. I've been playing it. It's a lot of fun. I'm working on recording some stuff for it because the developers have been super kind in giving a ton of people keys and responding to the community and taking feedback and everything like that. And they're encouraging hey, make some content for this game. And so that's exciting for me, and I know it's exciting for Marcus too. So Marcus, what have you been up to?
Go. I'm Goo for Go Town.
Dude, every time you guys say
Go Town.
You're a towel. Every time you guys say Go Town, I just think of Go Power Rangers. Do 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 do. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Anybody with that awesome metal? I'm gonna, what? I'll add it to the board. Marcus, tell me about Go Town, please.
Yes.
Are you sure now?
Yeah, I had to get that out.
Okay, so
tell us about Go Tower Rangers.
Go Tower Rangers.
There it is.
Ah!
So,
you're about to hear the solo.
Anyway,
it's fine.
So I'm going to rewind back to PAX because I forgot we didn't do a show last week because of May the 4th. I know Nick's going to talk about it, so we'll jump on that bandwagon then, which it was awesome. So when we were at PAX East, I fell into this game because Nick and Atrax were hogging this Strayed Lights game, and I was just standing there like a complete douche and didn't really want to stand there anymore. And I found an empty controller, and you guys know when I see an empty controller, I pick it up and play it.
Okay.
So when I did, sorry, I just went blank.
Totally get
Crickets.
it.
All right.
Happens to me all the time.
Yep. So I started playing this game, and Cheryl was the dev's name that was there, and so I grabbed the controller. She goes, I was like, "What is this?" And she's like, "It's Go Town." And I was like, "All right." And she's like, "Did you ever play Animal Crossing?" Nope. You ever play Roller Coaster Tycoon? Nope. Oh, this will be interesting. And I was like, yeah. So I started playing it. And then I'm moseying around. And she kind of explained a little bit to me because I'm lost. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And she helped me out a ton. And then I found a bicycle. And I started riding my bicycle around. And I was just riding a bicycle in circles, loving it. And then I found out there was a bell button. Ding, 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 like on a bike. And I was like, oh, my God. So I ended up, and then I made Pet Rocks. And I never thought it would be, I never thought making Pet Rocks would be satisfying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I didn't never got it in real life, so.
Yeah. So I started playing this game, and I was just like, and I stopped playing it. And I was like, wow. She's like, did you have fun? I was like, that was awesome. I've never played a game like that.
Yeah.
So then over the course of the next couple of days, I always ended up going back to either Cheryl or their other main booth because they had a console set up in this indie game area. Plus they had their own booth. And wherever if there was an open controller, I jumped in and just started playing. Even if it was for 5 minutes, I was driven to it because I never played a game that was so chillaxed as that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get you.
So I got to play it anyways, blah, blah, blah. I ended up finding out that they have a Discord, and I joined the Discord, messaged them and was like, hey, I really would love to play that demo. They're like, we're working on it. We've been updating the demo so that, it's a little bit more than what the demo was at PAX, but yet it's still the same kind of demo. You know what I mean? It's like alpha point 1. You know what I mean? A.1 of the demo, or A.2. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's still an alpha demo. Anyways, so I have been in the Discord, and I finally said, hey, I would really love, like, if there was a way I could get a copy of this game, the demo, I would love to play it on stream for a night and then talk about it on the podcast. And she's like, actually, we're going to be giving away codes, I think 30 of them, to just creators and media.
Okay.
And we're basically going to give them out on May 3rd, and then everybody else is going to get it on like May 10th. But it's only going to be good until May 14th. And then they're going to delete it off Steam. So she gave the codes out, I think, on a Wednesday, and I stream on Friday. I streamed it on Friday. Well, I streamed for like 2.5 hours, and it was just great. It was fun, and it ended up like at the end, like you had to build these buildings, but I still didn't understand the premise of the game because I've never played a game like this. But then it's basically a town builder game. You have to build shops and build this stuff, and you have to have workers, and they drop trash on the ground, so you got to have a trash guy. And then you can hire couriers that you can prepay for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days and drive around. But there's all these different characters you can pick, and it was super interactive with the chat because I was like, who should I make burgers? Let's have the mummy do it. You know what I mean? I forget.
Yeah.
Raps was his name.
Yeah. Raps the Mummy is a great name.
Yes, exactly. What was the wolf's name? I can't remember.
I don't know. There's a robot too, and I forget what the robot's name was.
And I always pick the robot to make the noodles because I don't know why that makes me think of Atrax and ramen. So anyway, I had such a blast, and Cheryl actually was lurking or whatever, and she came in and she's like, he's still playing the game 2 hours in. And like, I legit had so much fun playing it. And then I got an extra code when they gave their email list the game. Yeah. So I streamed it again for an hour or a half an hour or so before I started playing Destiny on Saturday night, just so I could give away one of the game codes, the demos. And obviously some of the people in our chat aren't that style of game player, but Mama Envy won it. And I'm really looking forward to when, like, because they do an auto-generated character for you. Like, if I can create my own character in the game and, like, build it from the ground level, that's going to get crazy.
And also, for our listeners, because this is a super awesome pre-early alpha demo that was meant for PAX, and was now, like, built upon, you can't save. So once you quit out of it, like, you have to start over. And that's great for PAX because, you know, somebody can just walk up to it, play for a bit, and then you just quit out of the game and boom, relaunch it and you're good to go. Right. But for a demo, it's kind of feels kind of bad that you can't save. But yeah, I agree with you, Marcus, where once the customization comes in and being able to save, I'm super excited for this game too. And like you mentioned, the Discord is popping.
Well, and finding out, obviously all of these AAA titles have giant communities, but when you see people in a smaller community like this, and the Discord's out of control, like going crazy, you realize, like, holy shit, there's a real market for this game.
Yeah.
And for me, like, do you remember OG streaming, Marcus? Like, just happy to chat for 10 minutes and not care about the game I'm playing. You know what I mean? Playing the game, but like chatting.
Like pre-nightmare rating? Marcus?
Yes. Pre-nightmare rating. Right.
Yeah.
That's how I felt playing this game. Like, I would chat a directive. Hey, who's going to be the shop owner here? And I would give in the first person to type in chat, we'll make this one it. And it was so interactive and so fun. Like, when, I know you both have been there, but ever have a moment where you just play a game and you stop playing it and you're like, holy shit, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. But on the flip side, I also feel like I need to be like PG-13 when I'm playing the game, and that's not me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, like, obviously this is going to appeal to a bunch of different age groups. You know what I mean? So it's not going to be, like, 18 plus is not going to be it.
Right.
The art style is fun. It's super bright, it's super fun. The music in their demo soundtrack was top tier. Like, lo-fi beats, and there was some good music. Like, I heard it originally, and I was like, because I was going to turn off the music and put on my music, and then I was like, nope, I'm listening to the in-game sound. Now, it repeated a lot over the course of 2 hours because they probably only had 6 tracks in there for the demo.
Yeah,
because the demo to me seems like it's probably like a 45-minute demo.
Okay.
Before, like, you do everything that the demo tells you to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that makes sense because I feel like the optimal time for a demo is probably like 15 to 20 minutes at PAX. You know what I mean?
I would say that's the worst part of PAX this year is a lot of the demos, like that WrestleQuest demo was like 45 minutes. I do not want to sit in front of your computer for 45 minutes.
Especially because you're standing, you know?
Right. Even like the Dead Island 2 one, that's like 35 minutes.
Oh, easily. Yeah.
I lost
That was
interest.
a lot of fun, though.
I did too.
It was a lot of fun, but like I lost interest in it. Like, I don't want a demo to be that. Throw me in a room, have a couple zombies on me, give me a couple weapons, go plug in like the power charger to the elevator. See you later. We're done.
Yeah.
Like, give me a taste. There's somebody that's close to our family that always says the taste. Give me a taste. You know what I mean? And
right.
like, that's all I want. And some of these demos were way too fucking long.
Agreed.
But again, back to Go-Go Town, I'm really looking forward to it because this tapped a shoulder. I don't know. Tapped an itch that I never knew I had.
Yeah.
And then it's also made me want, like, I'm officially going to say it, and like I've said it a million times maybe, but like I mean it this time. Like, I am no longer going to just play one game on stream. I'm done with it.
Good.
Like
Nice.
Tuesday, you wanted me to play, if you want to watch me play Destiny, guaranteed I'll be streaming it on Tuesday nights for clan night.
Yeah.
But like this weekend, starting tomorrow, Tears of the Kingdom's coming out, and or tonight at midnight, and I'm going to be, if I can get my Switch downstairs and get it working and with the scenes and everything just done, like without a hassle, I'm going to be streaming it tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Even if tomorrow's just like load it up, check it out for 20 minutes and shut it off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I feel like that's, I'm going to use Elden Ring as an example, but it's a lot in the sense of like Elden Ring where it's completely explore it. It's not giving you places to go. It's just telling you to go do it. But it's going to be like a quarter of the difficulty, at least to start.
Okay.
That Elden Ring is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be significantly easier than Elden Ring.
And maybe but you still have to dodge attacks. You still need to try to parry. You know what I mean? Like, you still need to like do those things that Nick desperately needs to learn how to do as well.
Hey, I was just thinking about that. I'll talk about it in a second.
Marcus, I'm going to interject here really quick. I forgot to mention this because it happened literally today. Tears of the Kingdom came out. I traded my buddy my old Switch for his OLED Switch.
What?
So so I got an OLED Switch now instead of the regular one.
Look at
what was the cash value difference? Like, what did you hand him in cash?
$125.
Oh.
And the OLED didn't come with Joy-Cons, and I gave him my Joy-Cons. Well, I mean, like, I had an extra set, and I literally never use, like a fifth set. So I just
a fifth set. So you have two other sets.
Yeah. that I'd never use. So I was like, okay, yeah, great. I get an OLED switch for nice little upgrade.
But you'll hook it up to your computer, right? You'll like plug the switch into your monitor and play it that way?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm really looking forward to Tears of the Kingdom. Like, I did not really play Breath of the Wild, but it was more because I wasn't ready for a game like that. But the Elden Ring has scratched something in me that I can't explain, except that I really suck at video games and it bothers me.
Yeah, because it's something you're so passionate about and you're not good at it.
Oh, I'm terrible at it. And I have never,
certain ones.
Like, I can't even tell you the last time I rage quit a game in my life. And I've rage quit like 5 times in Elden Ring, and then 10 minutes later I boot it back up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That was, I will always remember that night when you rage quit super hard over, I forget what it was, and you left the call, and we were like, oh man, I think Rayu, Nick, and I were playing Call of Duty or something.
Yeah, we were essentially heckling you as you were playing.
Yeah, and then you came back in 20 minutes later. I beat it, suckers. Yeah, suck it. What now? Yeah, right. I'm better. Haha. And then 20 minutes later, this sucks. Oh, man.
It's a pretty good impression.
Good times, Marcus.
Atrax's Marcus impression's getting pretty good.
Anyway.
Mine is like regressed. My impression's terrible.
So we cleared Working Class Guardians 2.
Nice.
Cleared Taniks in Deepstone Crypt for the first time as a team. It was great. We had fun. So we were talking about what was next, and we all decided we're going to go on to the Root of Nightmares, which is the newest raid in Destiny. We all want to do it, so that's going to be our next raid. I have never cleared it because I rage quit raiding for a little bit.
Makes
after
sense.
the day one.
Bless you.
Thank you. And last thing is, I want to shout out Sovi. Hey, Sovi. I want to thank you so much from the bottom of my ass crack for redeeming a full Hunter stream for Saturday night. Okay?
And Sovi, I want to thank you for listening to my pleas for a Hunter stream.
Yes.
So for anybody who doesn't watch the stream, I have channel point redemptions, and I let the community dictate how much of an asshole they're going to be to me, and they do it all the time. It's like instant. So I do have a redemption for a lot of channel points that will unlock me playing a Hunter in Destiny 2 for a whole night, which is fucking terrible. You're like a paperweight. That's how weak you are. A bullet hits you and you just die. And they're like, you got to go invisible. Fuck. When we raid, the Hunters are always dead. D-E-D.
Dead.
Anyway. But that's for me. Nick, how awesome is it when you get to shove an entire pod up Gronk and 87's ass? How was your week?
My week was great. I just realized when I was doing the notes, I haven't been on the show in 2 weeks. Well, I missed 2 episodes, essentially. Because last week we did a May the 4th celebration, which was cool. And I'll talk about it in a second.
Right.
And the week prior, I wasn't on because I was in Texas for paintball at the NXL Lone Star Open, playing in Division 2. That's correct. That was a really great weekend. Austin, it was in Austin. We stayed in Austin at this in an Airbnb that had this big corner balcony. It was really, really cool. It was like basically an apartment that we rented and shoved 10 guys into. But we ended up coming in
fourth. A lot of sausage.
Yeah, we ended up coming in 4th. And we, as Marcus is alluding to, we beat essentially my old team. It's like the old franchise I played for. I didn't play for that exact team, but which we beat them 4-0, which was pretty fucking awesome. It was a very emotional match for me. And usually paintball's not super I don't have personal ties to it, but basically, have I explained this situation before? How I ended up on the new paintball team? Probably a while ago. I'll just run through it again, which would be on brand. So,
yeah.
So basically,
you have to mention Division 2 as much as possible.
Okay, can do. So, in the 3 years before this season, I was playing on a team called Power 2. So the main team is CWE Power, stands for Chris Ward Electric Power. It's an electric company. The owner of the team also owns an electric company in Connecticut, called Chris Ward Electric. So, and their colors are black and gold for like electricity. Makes sense. It's a cool concept. When I came back to paintball in 2020, they created a feeder team that I ended up being on. They were playing Division 3 at the time, the main team, then the feeder team that I was on played D4. Then the next season in 2021, they moved up into Division 2, and I was on the Division 3 team, Power 2. Well, then in 2022, we were playing the team that I was on. We were just playing locally. Then in 2022, I was so last season, I was basically running the team. I was captain, I was coaching, and playing at the same time, and it was a mess. It was way too much stuff to do. On top of, we were also playing both locally and nationally. So we were playing 5 local tournaments and 5 national tournaments, which is a ridiculously large amount of paintball. It was like almost every weekend I was either practicing for an event, a tournament, or at a tournament, or practicing for the next tournament. So it was way too much paintball. So at the end of the season, I knew that I'm like, okay, I don't want to run a team anymore, but I want to play just the national tournaments. And with that, I wouldn't really be able to play with Power 2 because Power 2 wasn't really going to have a national team the next year if I wasn't running it. And then I didn't want to play locally, and they were going to play locally. So, but essentially what it was is like I wasn't expecting a spot on Power, the actual Power team who plays in Division 2, because that would be a step up. So I wasn't expecting to have a roster spot, but I was sort of, because I did a lot for the team the years prior, I thought maybe the conversation would be like, oh, like, hey, I know, you wouldn't have playing time, but you can like practice with us and, give you a chance to earn some playing time, maybe, just a chance.
Yeah.
That's really what I was looking for, was just a chance. And I didn't get that. The response was like, okay, best of luck. Like, thanks. See you later. And I said, when I told them like, hey, I'd prefer to play with you guys, but I'm going to go try out for Malicious because they were having a tryout. And the response was essentially, all right, good luck. See you later. So I took it as I definitely felt slighted. So then fast forward to I get on Malicious, and they basically give me the chance that I was looking for. They're like, hey, with our current roster, you're probably not going to get a lot of playing time, but you're welcome to sort of work your way into a spot in the national team. And that's what ended up happening. I didn't play a whole lot in Florida, but I played a lot, probably 60% of the points in Texas here. So because I've been grinding almost every weekend to play and try to get better. But so then fast forward to the middle of this tournament, on Saturday in the prelims, we play against Power. We ended up beating them pretty handily. We were up 4-0, and then the 5th point started with 32 seconds left. And we hold them off, like they don't score a point or anything, and I'm still on the field alive. And in paintball, there's this sort of disrespectful thing you can do to your opponents called loader dumping, where you like take the paint, like reload your hopper, and then open it up and just dump it out like at them or on them as like a fuck you, like I don't even need this paint to beat you. So I did. So after the match is over, and I jog over to like the sideline where their coach and owner Chris Ward is standing. And I go, so there, I should back up. Power's like in-game huddle is like, they go like, charge up, power on 3, 1, 2, 3, power, because it's electricity. So it's all charge up this, charge up that.
Yeah.
So I go, going up to
that's
the net.
Wait, just for the record, that's a pretty sweet pump up.
Oh, super sweet pump up. Their setup is dope. Like, no, I mean, obviously I was in the workstation for 3 years, but I charged up a whole hell of a lot of times. Okay. So I go.
He powers up now.
Yes.
Yeah.
So match ends. We beat him 4-0. Time runs out. I run over to the net in front of Chris Ward. I load her dump and I go, charge that up, Power. And then I take a second pot off my back, flip the lid open, throw those paintballs at the net, and then throw the pot at the net. Like, fuck you.
Dang.
It was very out of character for me, but I thought it was awesome.
Well,
my teammates were like, oh, let's go for, because I'm not that guy. I'm like the reserved, quiet, like the conscience of the team. And then I go over and do that, and they're like a basketball bench when somebody hits like 3 threes in a row, and they're like, oh, hold each other back and shit. They're like, let's go.
Great. Well, it's not that the organization is a bad organization.
Not at all. And honestly, I have
not that you're like mad at the people. It's just, I understand where you're coming from. You put your heart and soul into an organization, gave it your all, and you were like, hey, this is what's going on. And the guy was just basically like, well, thank you for doing all this for us, but good luck next year. Peace out. Yeah. Not even like, well, let's chat again about it. Like, let me see where our roster is. Yeah. You know, like something. Maybe we can bring you in as a tryout. Like maybe you're a bench player. Like, and you would have been like, perfectly cool, man. I'm cool with that. I can earn my spot.
Yeah.
And like,
but like, what I was trying to say is I wasn't expecting to be gifted anything. I just wanted an opportunity to sort of earn it or something.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And then you go into this event and you see that you're playing against them. And now it doesn't matter for the rest of the season how many times you play them, if you play them again. And if you lose, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, because we won the first one.
The first one matters.
It really was emotional.
And you guys practice against them all the time. Yeah. And just for the record, like, when you practice against them next, you are totally going to be eating a lot of paint. Like, there will be a serious shit ton of overshooting towards your way. Like, your closest friends. And, like, for me, like, I'm the far away instigator. Right. So, like, after they won.
After we won, you just messaged Jacob. My close friend Jacob from the show plays on Power, and so does Fernando, both of which have been on the show.
Yes.
But
I'm
still very close friends with them. But
yes. And, like, I immediately messaged them and just started talking mad shit.
Of course you did.
But the funny part is both of them had complete different conversations with me about it, but that's a topic for another day. Anyways, Nick.
Well, that makes sense. They're two different people. Fernando's like an HR guy, very reserved, politically correct, like, well, probably credit where credit is due. This was a very good match. They played very well, and blah, 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 or something like that. And Jake was probably like, fucking blah, 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 blah. He's very emotional. He wears his, emotions on his sleeve. He's a wicked good dude, but I could see him turning into a fucking Tasmanian devil at the other end of the phone. But I don't know what they actually said, but I had to guess that's probably how it went. So anyways, Texas was fucking awesome. Outside the paintball stuff, since we were in Austin, I'm a big stand-up comedy fan, so I booked a show with a bunch of my teammates and friends that I knew were going there too. I booked a comedy show at the Comedy Mothership, which is Joe Rogan's new club, Sunday night, and that was fucking awesome. The 3 people were wicked funny. I forgot what the heck is the opener's name? It was Lucas something.
Doesn't matter.
He was really good.
Wait, did you say Lucas? I think that's the bartender there.
No. Well, he opened the show. I don't think he's.
But I think that they were talking about it on the podcast today.
Oh.
The bartender's name is Lucas, or Luke maybe. So I don't know. But anyway.
Well, I don't think he was a bartender because he was. Whatever.
Well, everybody that works there is a stand-up comedian.
No, I know, but he did a lot. He did a whole 20-minute set and was the MC in between. So I feel like, probably getting paid for that. Yeah, yes, not for bartending.
Well, no, I'm saying, but they were talking about Lucas the bartender does do opening acts, and he does bike night and Sunday night. I guess Sunday nights too are for their workers to have a chance on the stage.
Yeah,
as well.
There was the 7 p.m. show, so there was an open mic from 7 to 8 in the small room Sunday night, and then in the small room there from 8 to 9 it was just the worker show essentially. So the staff that do got a chance to go up for 5 or 6 minutes each or so, whatever it was. And then at the same time, and there was the 8 o'clock show is what I saw, and it was Eric Griffin was the headliner, and David Lucas, who's wicked funny, was the middle, the feature, the middle act, and that was they all crushed it. I was literally crying laughing at Eric Griffin. I hope he puts that material into a special or something. Because, I will not do it justice to try and recreate it, but that was awesome. And I don't think I'd ever been to a real... Well, that's not true. I saw Jeff Dunham before, and I saw... I've seen a couple comedians in, arenas, but not, in not like in a smaller setting like this. Like this was probably
Yeah.
a few hundred people in there, and I was like, I don't know, 15 feet from the front of the stage. I was like the middle of the pack, but it was great. Definitely recommended. Definitely go to a comedy club. Like I feel like that's an underrated. I'm gonna look for like ones more locally now.
There's one in
After
South
that.
Windsor.
Yeah, like
That's
even
good.
if their people aren't that good, I feel like the vibe of that is really fun. One other thing before I move on from the comedy thing was I've never used these before. I've heard of them, but they used yonder bags, they call them. And basically it's a mesh bag that you put your phone and like smart devices into for the show, and then they lock it and then give you the bag. And so that it keeps people off their phones during the show.
Yeah, they were talking about it today. It's because people are so distracted
Yeah.
that on your phone they don't even watch the show, and or then they stop people from
Enjoying because of the light and shit. Yeah.
from recording it.
Oh, that
Because
too.
so many people are working on their acts for their big specials.
Yeah.
And it's just a good way. And like for the next 90 minutes, you're not looking at your phone.
Yeah, it was
and like
great.
you might go to like grab your phone on the table and like look for it.
Yeah.
But like you immerse yourself in this comedy show.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was great. It was a really cool experience to just sit, and that makes you be like present in the moment like you're describing. It was cool.
How did you go 2 hours without swiping left or right?
I swiped left and right. Plenty. You mean during
During
the
the
show.
comedy show.
I don't know why I thought 2 hours was like the weekend or something. Oh no, that was fine. It was no
Anyway.
big. I got the like the cravings. I was scratching a little bit, but it was all right. As soon as we get out, I just started swiping. We were fine. I made up for it. No, but anywho, in conclusion, it was a top tier Division II paintball trip.
Woohoo!
So then, fast forward about a week, May the 4th, we had a watch party celebration, which was pretty awesome. I super duper appreciate everyone that came out. We watched a bunch of cool content. I watched like a couple of my favorite episodes of Rebels. A-Trax queued up a bunch of these fan edits that were like really emotional and like highlighted different character arcs. I think the Anakin one stuck with me the most. Marcus provided the comedy and gave us some Robot Chicken clips of Star Wars and Family Guy Star Wars, which was always hilarious. And it was just fun to like have the community like just like hang out and like watch some fun content, you know?
Yeah, we had like 10 people at least in there at one point. It was great.
It was awesome.
I was opposed to the watch party for
I
May
can
the
tell.
4th. No, I was. Remember when we were talking? Like, I wanted to do a May the 4th podcast.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I was burping. But after we did it, I'm super happy we did the watch party because it was an opportunity to hang out with everybody. And, like, everybody was making jokes and, like, we were watching the content. And it was really great. And, you know, I didn't even care. But then all of a sudden, A-Trax is like, Marcus is mad. He's not in control. Marcus is mad. He's not in control. He's like pushing my buttons. And I didn't even care. I was just chilling. But it was really fun just to be us hanging out with the community. Because, like, it's people listen to us or watch us on stream or whatever. But, like, or hang out in Discord. But not really a lot because we're usually, like, gaming in Discord.
Yeah.
So it was really nice to just hang out with everybody, and people hung out, and we watched a bunch of stuff, and it was a lot of fun to do that. It was really fun.
Yeah, I completely get why you like doing the random watch parties, A-Trax. I'd like to do that more often, honestly.
I think we need to. Like, I wouldn't say every week, but like maybe once a month on like a Friday night when we're not doing anything.
Yeah.
We do like a movie night and like.
That'd be cool.
Pick a movie.
I love a movie.
That'd be great.
I'm a big movie guy. I want to see the Covenant or whatever it's called, that new action movie.
I want to see all of the John Wicks.
And yes, we're gonna have fun watching that, dude. You're gonna love those. A-Trax, you've seen them all, right? Quick sidebar.
I have not. I saw the first one.
Oh, okay. The first one is solid. Second one is also solid. I think the third one might be better than the second, but not as good as the first. And then I haven't seen the fourth one yet. But
is it the second or the third one that has like the scene where they're walking through the subway tunnel, just like shooting at each other with silencers.
That was the second one, and I was like,
"Is that the second one?" I saw that clip on a breakdown, and I can't help but laugh at it every time I see that scene because it's like the most unrealistic thing ever.
Yeah, like so for the record, silencers do not make the gun silent. They make them not like they make them not have a sonic boom. So
yeah, like it doesn't echo.
Clack, clack, clack with a silencer on.
Hey.
And also,
I hear Sonic Boom, I just think of Guile from Street Fighter 2. Sonic Boom!
Guile? Which one was that?
The army dude or the Air Force guy.
I was also going to say, it doesn't matter whether you have a silencer or not. If two people are shooting at each other in a crowded subway, someone's going to notice and start a panic.
Yeah. 100%.
They're just like, boom, 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 boom. They're just like having a full-out gunfight walking in between these pillars.
Yeah. They don't hit each other,
man.
which is also fairly. I mean, it's really hard to shoot with a pistol, so it's really easy to miss. But like, but
they don't hit each other. They don't hit each other. People.
But they're like master assassins, and they like hit perfect headshots every other scene, and then the both of them just magically miss each other for like a 10-minute action sequence. Whatever.
You know why? It's because they're shooting at each other. That's why they can't. The bullets keep hitting the other bullets, and so they're just like. That's how good they are.
Or something. Yeah.
That was a good movie too, Wanted.
Wanted was a cool movie. And you get to see Angelina Jolie's butt, and I was all excited about that.
Maybe we'll do that for a watch party too. Bringing it right back around. Yeah.
I've tried there was a period of time I tried to curve paintballs with my paintball gun like that. See if it would work. It doesn't work for the record.
Airsoft Quick sidebar. Airsoft bullets, however, will. One time I was shooting. My brother and I were shooting at each other with airsoft bullet, like across a field. So it was long range, open, and you could see. And I aimed because he was a little bit shorter than me and younger. I aimed like for his chest so that I wouldn't hit him in the head. And I shot and I watched it. It went down and it curved up and it hit him right in the chin. Like it just went right. I was like, no, wrong way. So they do curve. They will curve up sometimes. Airsoft bullets will. Got to be careful of that.
I should clarify. Paintballs curve all the time when you shoot them regularly, especially if you have any debris in your barrel or the paintballs aren't super perfectly spherical.
Yeah.
Flat spots will catch and they'll spin and curve. But similar to what you're saying, they actually used to make a barrel called like a flatline barrel that never really worked correctly, but it was supposed to put a backspin on the ball so that it would fly further. It didn't really do that, but it's the same thing you were talking about. You'd have a little bit of that action where it would rise a little bit. But
interesting.
Yeah. The problem with those barrels was like it wasn't straight, and you're putting a round projectile through a like curved barrel, so it'd go like down and then back up to get the spin going, and like they break, so they would just like break paint all the time. So you had to buy like a cheaper paint that had a thicker shell that didn't break as easily, but then it wasn't as good quality, so you'd lose the accuracy, and then it would defeat the purpose of the flatline barrel. So that's why those never caught on. But
okay,
but yeah, paintballs do curve too. But anyways,
meanwhile, back on the ranch.
So May the 4th was awesome. This past weekend, I hit some golf balls with my dad on Saturday. Grabbed a beer at a local brewery with him, and then Sunday we shot some real guns, which was pretty sweet. Pistols specifically, which we both own. And I did outshoot him, but that kind of always happens because I've been shooting paintball guns for like months now, and I don't know. He says him and our family friend that shoots with us sometimes says it's because I have young eyes compared to them too, but it was fun. I will highlight one moment if I may brag a little bit. Like, I'll post it in the Discord, but the first shot that I shot this weekend at the targets hit like exactly dead center of the bullseye, and right before I did that, I said, all right, well, let's see how this goes, because I haven't shot in a long time, and then it was like perfect.
Let's go.
Yeah, that was
100%
like
accuracy.
Chest pump. And then obviously afterwards I shot, started thinking too much about it and shit happened, but
yeah. Well, go check out the Nerds Community Discord. If you're looking for the link, it's in the description of the show, wherever you're watching.
Oh, yeah. And for you two, here's a photo.
Boom. Dead center.
Marcus?
Wrecked.
Mm-hmm.
I did shoot the bad guys. All right. Anyways, the paper ones. So then then I streamed on Monday, and I streamed Jedi Survivor on Jedi Grandmaster, which was really difficult, but not as bad as I thought it was going to be, honestly. I thought I was going to be a lot worse at it. Granted, that was literally like the tutorial level and the like tutorial boss. But the boss in that first planet, sort of tutorial planet, did take me probably 45 minutes to beat. So, but I did do it. Some last pull magic, which was kind of fun. I was like, all right, three more. I got close on the 2, and then I was like, all right, last one, whatever. Let's see how it goes. That's probably what helped me beat it, because like being a little bit more relaxed, I went into like the last stage of the fight with the most health I had all night, and then and then I ended up winning, which was pretty awesome. And like I don't know, quickly into my stream, probably I don't even think I'd loaded into the opening cutscene yet. Bruine, friend of the show, streamer who we've had on before. He's a Destiny 2 streamer. Raided me with like 30 people, and most of them hung out like the whole stream with me, which was really cool. So shout out to Bruine. He is pushing for partner. So we'll have a snippet in the break sound to tell you to go check out Bruine. Go help him get partner. He super deserves it. He is awesome. Really, really great person. Really cool community. Lots and lots of love to Bruine. I'll put the link to his Twitch in the description as well, and you'll hear about it in the break sound. And last night, we had a very wholesome guys' night last night. We were supposed to go, that is, my dad, Marcus, and I get together every Wednesday night for, like, drinks, apps, and to watch something. We've been watching The Mandalorian, we watched Kenobi, we watched Andor, like, just different series and stuff.
You are
like
my
that.
brother, Anakin.
Yeah. And sometimes we'll go see movies or whatever. We were supposed to go see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, but Marcus had a ton of extra work he was doing at his shop, so he couldn't make it. And so instead of just canceling things, my dad and I were like, well, why don't we, like, get Marcus involved? So we bought grinders, showed up at his shop, and we're like, hey, we're doing guys' night. How can we help you build some cabinets? Then we did that for, like, a couple hours. Then came back to my parents' the man cave at my parents' house, and like had a beverage and hung out for a little bit, and then all went home. But it was cool to just help Marcus get some stuff done.
And I was blown away because it usually if I get 2 or 3 hours a night in the shop, and then when you have 2 more people there, that's 6 man hours that stuff got done. Like Nick made all the shelves for this kitchen I'm building, so the shelves are completely done and made for the insides of the cabinets. Stormin, he sanded 2 wood countertops, and he likes to do that because he likes to feel the wood and find the soft and like any of the bumps.
He's
so like
more like artsy about it, you know?
Right, exactly. So like, but I gave them their tasks, and then that allowed me to like make parts and just hustle, like do the things that I have to do. And legit, we got 6 hours worth of work done in 2 hours because they were there 2.5. But like the first 30 minutes, we were eating these fucking amazing grinders from this Italian sandwich shop. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And we, but it was super wholesome of them to come help because like sometimes at night, like I'm alone, right? Like it's all on me, and it's a lot of weight on my shoulders. But them coming, I was so thankful, and like. So when I got home, so afterwards, like I was done. I looked at my watch and it was like 9:15. I was like, my eyes were squinted like they are right now. And I'm like, nope, I'm done. Like, let's go, guys. We are all at a good place. You finished. I'm just fucking done. Checked. I was like, well, let's go get a beer. And we were going to go to this place to grab a beer, but they were closed already because it was 9:15
on a Wednesday.
Yeah, so then we just went back like to Storman's house, and we all had a couple beers. It was fucking great. I think I got home at 10:30, and it was super wholesome. It was like the perfect night. And then I woke up this morning.
Yeah.
Completely slept through my alarms. Like I shut them off, and
I've done that.
Carrie came in. It was like slammed my foot and was like, "Are you going to work today?" It's 6:20. I was like, "Oh." I guess so, but then you guys ever wake up in the morning and it's like the most perfect temperature in your room? like perfect temperature. It's not cold. It's not hot.
Yeah.
And like the fan's blowing perfect, and it's like the perfect sleep weather.
Yes.
I got out of bed and I was like, nope. And I laid back down, and Julia came in and was like, Daddy, you need to get up. And I'm like, fuck. But like, if it was a day that I could sleep in, I would have been up at 5:30 or 6. You know what I mean? Well,
yeah, that's always how it works.
Right. But, yeah, it was super wholesome. So in AIE news, Tuesday nights are clan night. Why do you want to come to clan night? Because it's an opportunity to play Destiny 2 with the AIE community. We have lots of fun. This week, we helped Wargis get the Winter Bite exotic glaive, and then they helped me finish up the final mission for the season, which I just hadn't finished it. It was fun. And then we just kind of fucked around, but it was great. Shout out to Doritos. Doritos is always there. He couldn't make it.
Doritos.
Wow, you said that a lot like I do. Wait, who are you talking about?
Doritos.
Oh, you mean it's Doritos? Woo!
Yes. So, hey, buddy, keep your head up. We'll talk soon.
Yeah.
And so Tuesday nights, clan night, 9 p.m. Eastern. Be there or be square. And if all this sounds fun to you, go to aie-guild.org. Get our Discord information at the top right-hand corner of the webpage and ask for a guild invite. Whether or not you play SWTOR, Destiny 2, World of Warcraft, or any of the other games that we play, trust me, if you play it, we play it too, because we would love to have you.
And with that, we'll be right back.
What's up, nerds community?
We are calling on you. That's right, you sitting in your chair, listening to this at work or driving in the car, whatever you're doing. We're calling on you to help out one of our very close friends of the show. It's Bruine. So Bruine was on the show for episode 185, and it is an amazing Destiny 2 streamer, and he is pushing for partner right now. So every single viewer and lurker counts, and they matter a lot. Can make a big difference in this person's life. And Bruine is awesome and super duper deserves it. So go to twitch.tv/Bruinevloei, which I'm definitely saying wrong, so I'm going to spell it for you. That's BRUINEVLOEI. That's BRUINEVLOEI. That means something in Dutch that I don't know how to say. But Bruine is awesome. Go help him out. And
Nerds community, you are all awesome. We appreciate all of you.
High five.
And we're back. So today we're talking about a very special topic. The topic is, why do we game? Like, what's in our heads when we game, and what makes us love video games so much? Because not everybody does, but we certainly do.
And I guarantee we all love it for different reasons.
Exactly. And Marcus loves video games almost as much as he likes making noises right when I'm trying to talk. Exactly.
Well, I feel like it breaks it up and it loosens people up. When you break their concentration and they get frustrated, it kind of like loosens them up.
Oh, yeah.
They can be pissed for a second, but then they think about it and it's actually kind of funny.
No, I'm never actually mad. It's always
so
funny.
The reason why I wanted to talk about this tonight is because I don't think we ever really have, or maybe we have, and maybe it was 185 episodes ago.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's just a simple question.
Yeah.
Why do you game?
Well, I mean, I can start if we'd like to, if unless you guys got.
Well, you already started talking.
Yeah,
Atrax was about to say something, and you just charged in.
I was thinking about it still. Kind
Don't
of.
project onto me what you do all the time.
I'm gaslighting.
Yeah,
you
seem really excited to talk about it, Marcus. You're like, oh, I have this great idea for the show. It's just gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be awesome, and I'm not gonna talk about it. No,
yeah.
I'm just kidding. So, anyways,
go
why do
ahead,
we game?
Nick.
Why do I game? I feel like it's almost two different sort of trains of thought. So, like, I've talked about it a million times before, but I'm a 2-game kind of person. I'm like a shallow gameplay experience game, and then like a rich, like single player action RPG, like very lore intensive game at the same time. So right now for me, that's Jedi Survivor and then Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2. But so I think, why do I like gaming? I like both of those sort of flavors of game for different reasons. So with a Call of Duty, I really enjoy like accomplishing something that's like I'm kind of good at but not super good at, you know what I mean? Like grinding to get better, get more guns or unlock camos or whatever it is, and like being able to be proficient at something in a competitive space. It's kind of similar to why I like paintball so much. It's something I'm like sort of naturally gravitated towards and ended up being decent at. So like being able to expand upon that and really try, and like sometimes you do well and sometimes you do terrible, right? Like my kill death is not anything good. It's like 0.9 or something, but it's not even 1. But like the point is, some games you do great, some games you don't, but you're competing and like having fun, and that competition is very fun. Granted, I don't want that all the time out of my video games, but that is definitely a component that sometimes I like reach for. Then, and it comes and goes in spurts. I know, like, I haven't played a lot in the past few weeks. I've also been busy, but, you know, in the couple weeks prior, I played, like, probably, 20, 30 hours a week or something. I was playing a lot. But then when you look at how I play, or, like, what I'm doing when I'm playing, like, these RPG games, whether it's, like, Skyrim or the Fallout games historically, or, Jedi Survivor now, or any of the games I've played on stream, right? Horizon Zero Dawn, God of War, all those fun stuff. What I'm looking for out of those games is not really now, but at times in my life, it was more of like an escapism thing, where it's like if there's stuff I was stressed out about, or like just whatever was going on, and I want to just sort of like be able to sink my teeth into this really lore-rich environment and go to like a different world or whatever. That those types of games allow you to do that because they're so immersive. That's really why I gravitated towards like Skyrim and Fallout. And not that I've had some big struggles in my life, right? But like just, whatever it is, like, oh, I don't want to take out the trash. It's like, I'll play some Skyrim for a while. And then you like go do all this cool stuff, you know what I mean? And then your mom sends you, like, you hear the garage door open and you go, oh fuck, I got to take out the trash. And then you act like, oh hey, I was just coming out. Funny you got home at the same time. Talking about like in middle school, high school, whatever. But
totally didn't see you there.
Yeah, or like, oh hey, like you're supposed to start the laundry earlier in the day, and you're like just started it as they get home. It's like, oh yeah, I got it, no problem. And you're like, oh shit.
Well, yeah, I clicked the wrong cycle. It's just an extra long one.
Yeah, definitely, yep. And then I put on sanitize instead of quick wash. But that's some of that was probably my previous, like, a big motivation previously. But now I do like, I find myself really enjoying like complicated or like very in-depth or shows or movies that make you think. Like I really like a lot of Christopher Nolan movies, like Memento or The Prestige, or like some of the older ones, for example. But like, or Seven's a really good movie too, or like the new Batman movie, the Batman, where they really make you think, and like there's a lot going on, a lot for you to think about. So that's sort of more of my motivation to play like those single player action RPG type games now. Is there's a big lore background, there's lots of gear leveling, like there's a lot to think about and a lot to sink your teeth into that's like engaging and interesting and immersive. So like that's why I gravitate towards those games more. And I actually really enjoyed playing Jedi Survivor on this really hard difficulty, because that makes me focus on a whole lot more also. Like I'm enjoying the lore of like the Star Wars universe, of course, but then also the game, I have to focus really intensely on the gameplay, because like I'm not used to playing that style of game at all. And I know Jedi Survivor and Jedi Fallen Order are a lot easier than like a Souls-like game, but it's the first time I've like really cranked up the difficulty like that, and like it makes you focus really intensely on every engagement. And I'm ended up liking it because it's using more, it makes you involved a lot more, in the whole thing, paying attention to every little detail more, which is cool. And I think it enriches the game in a way that I probably wouldn't have approached, like it wouldn't have gone out of my shell and experienced if I wasn't like doing it for stream, So thanks, Nerd Community, for pressuring me to play on Jedi Grandmaster.
Let's go.
Well,
and
it also
victory.
Yeah.
Yes, and Nick, it also makes you, it's rewarding to win.
Oh, yeah. Like, I was super pumped when I beat that boss. Like, no spoilers. I won't say what it was, but that boss on stream, like, I was like, yes, let's go. I almost didn't believe it. Like, so you hit to get rid of all their health, and then a cutscene plays, and I didn't trust the cutscene. I'm like, all right, I got to keep playing after this. How much health did I have left?
Yeah,
like,
phase
I'm like staying
2.
intense. Phase 2, exactly. That's what I was waiting for. Was phase 2. I'm like, oh, how is this going to be worse than they are actually dead? And I was like, oh, okay, now I can be pumped. You know?
Yeah. It's over. It's finally over.
It's finally over. We did it. But and yeah, that was just the first boss. Can't imagine what the last boss of this game is like. But yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. I think, does that make sense what I was talking about though? Like, sort of different gaming experiences have different motivations.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you guys think? Why do you game?
If I were to isolate it down into like one sentence, it's
Okay.
I guess it would just be because I love video games. I think that it's the thing that I'm best at, or at least most adaptable in. So I could hop into an FPS or an MMO or a puzzle game, and within a couple of hours be familiar with the systems and be able to teach myself how to, do what needs to be done in the game.
Yeah.
So I guess it's always that feeling of being able to just accomplish whatever sort of diversity comes into my way. Like, even competitively, I know, okay, well, if I lose this game, I know I can win the next game because, well, I got wrecked because they went around this way or they went around this way. They threw these grenades and I don't know those, but now I can learn them. And so then I won't, I won't fall to that next time. That type of how your mind works and problem solves, that sort of problem solving happens a lot in video games, whether it's multiplayer or a single player experience. And I also, you can interact with people in the world, like around the world, without having to leave your house, which is scary, but also kind of cool in the sense of it can be a safe, mutual environment to like, if you're solely focused on the game. Obviously, there's incredibly toxic places.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, if everybody is there to just play the game, then it's a sort of team building. Hey, we're here to, I don't know, beat the other team. We're here to beat the raid boss. We're here to whatever. So even that, there's that cooperation and problem solving amongst people too.
I totally get it. I think that, like, problem solving and like critical thinking skills are why I like paintball too, because you have to do like lots of critical thinking on the fly while you're getting shot at.
Yeah,
so it's very similar in lots of video games, even if it's not a shooter or something. Like you're saying, like that problem solving sort of sense of accomplishment. It's fun to do something kind of difficult and then have that sense of accomplishment. It's really like a rewarding.
Mm-hmm.
I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah,
Marcus, what are your thoughts?
Go ahead.
I was going to say one last thing too, is also when you watch people play games that, like, then you're, oh man, I found this game. It's super fun. Here, you want to play it? And then you share it with them. And then they're, oh yeah, I love this game. And you like immediately establish that. Oh, what did you do here? Oh, wow. Well, I didn't think of this. That is also super fun too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Sorry,
Bonding
Marcus.
with the community over your struggles is always awesome.
Yes.
Oh, and I struggled with Elden Ring. I game because Nick said it earlier, because it's my time and nobody can take that time away. So whether I have kids running around or whatever, the fact is come 8:30 at night, I'm gaming and it's my time. It's not anybody else's time. And like, no matter what I'm playing, it's just my time. I tend to be a very social gamer. I love being social with people. I'm definitely an extrovert, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And like being gaming with people, I love it because it's just interactive. But at the same time, I have found in the last month or two that I really enjoy also playing by myself.
Yeah.
So, but that's pretty much why I game. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's important to have that you time that I was talking about earlier. What was that?
Right.
Was that on the show or the pre-show?
No, it was in the show, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay. Okay, good.
Do either of you feel like there's a limit to how much video games you could play? Like if you were to play, if someone told you food, shelters provided, you just play
bathroom
video
breaks.
games 10 hours a day. You can play any game you want. That's fine.
But you
I
But
couldn't
like,
do it.
like that's your, maybe not every single day, 7 days a week, but like that's your job. Like think streamers, but not necessarily a streamer. Just like you have
10
to play games. At
10
minimum,
4
you
hours.
have to play games. Yeah.
No, I couldn't do it because then it doesn't become my time, it becomes a job.
Yeah, I can see that.
And I look at gaming as like rewarding. So like I killed myself today so I can come downstairs at 8:30 and play games for a couple hours.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I couldn't even so when I was dating my wife and I was in my apartment, like I would play video games for probably 2 hours a day. But like I wouldn't play all day every day because like sometimes I want to take a nap on the couch. Sometimes I want to just chill. Sometimes I want to go to the comic book shop. You know what I mean? Like that's why I always laugh and say like Atrax could legit sit down and play video games for 12 hours a day without even blinking and love every minute of it and not think of anything else and be okay. I couldn't.
See, like, I don't know. I'd have to be in the situation, right? Like, could I do that all day, every day? Probably not. But I definitely have the capacity to play for 5-6 hours at a time, especially those RPGs.
Yeah.
Like because I've done it before. I mean, I've done it for Call of Duty too, shallow and FIFA, just shallow gaming experiences. Just played for 4 or 5 hours, whatever. But like, if I have that free time, especially if it's like you're really like I've taken weekend days when I don't have paintball, and just like on like a Saturday or whatever, just be like, you know what, I'm just having a me day. I'm taking care of me. I'm like, taking a shower, drinking a lot of water, like getting the food that I like or whatever, and then just like playing games all fucking day. And I'm just relaxed. I thought I did that on my birthday, actually. Just went a little, indulged in some cannabis products, all day, and just relaxed and played games and just had it to myself. So like, I feel I could definitely play for extended periods of time, but I can't do that consistently all the time, if that makes sense.
You couldn't do it like instead of your job. And I mean as in you'd still get paid, but in place of those 8 hours you're at work, instead those 8 hours you'd be gaming, you couldn't do it.
I think I could probably make that work.
Yeah.
Like, okay, if I do that instead of my job, like and it's just play a game for 8 hours, I'll figure it out.
It's like play video games. Like your job is to go to your desk, sit, play video games for 8 hours, and then you can you get a lunch. You can have your 15-minute breaks every 4 hours or whatever you get. You treat it like regular job. Clock in, game, clock out. Could you do it 8 hours a day, 5 days a week?
I'd figure
Before
it out.
Easy.
You would need variety. You would need a variety though. Like I'd have to mix. I ended up playing like platformers that I'm terrible at, and like Mario or whatever. I'd end up mixing it up. But yeah, I could do that. I feel like
I could do it. Like if it was before kids, I could do it, but I would need streaming to keep that motivation to play. Because like if I'm playing a game for 4 hours and like I'm not really into the game, because like when I had a lot of free time, I found that like I don't really feel like playing Call of Duty. I don't really feel like playing SWTOR.
Yeah.
And like I don't really have an itch to play another game. You know what I mean? Kind of a thing. So like if I had stream, then I could commit and be like, okay, now I can be interactive.
That's okay. So you would go streaming 8 hours a day.
100%.
Okay.
If I was getting paid my normal salary and then I just played video games and stream, like that would allow me, because then that would allow me to make YouTube videos. It would allow me to find clips. I could make the content that I actually want to do because I would have time. So like, just because I'm not playing a Jedi Survivor for 8 hours, I could play it for 6 and make videos for 2 hours a day.
That's
and
true.
like that would elevate the quality of my channel or stream or podcast all at once.
It's a good point. Yeah.
But I don't know if I could do I don't know if I could just spend 8 hours playing a game and then do all that extra stuff.
Yeah, I get you. To have like
Atrax would have no problem. If Atrax could play video games for 8 hours a day, 7 days a week, he would.
Oh yeah, easily. It's my constant struggle is I would very easily just sit here and play video games all day, every day, but that's not productive. And I have to be productive at some point. Like I can't just not be productive.
You'd be gaining levels. That's productive.
Well, but like it doesn't help
in the game of real life, you know.
It doesn't help life. Yeah, it doesn't take care of the people that I care about.
Yeah,
and
we're talking hypotheticals that are not real life.
Right.
Okay,
so
fair enough.
Hypothetically, if I'm getting paid to play video games for 12 hours, no problem. That's a 12-hour shift that I can do. Walking around dumping pieces of silicone into chemicals for 12 hours, that sucks. I did that for a year and a half. Not fun. Easy to play video games 12 hours a day. No problem.
Yeah. All right. What makes you both excited to game?
I think we kind of just talked about it. Like I get excited to
Everything.
game to accomplish shit. Like I think like in Call of Duty when you're like I get a lot of like that dopamine rush of like, yeah, when you like kill get like a triple kill and you're like, I bested 3 people in 5
Triple
seconds.
kill.
You're like, yes, let's go. It's a giant like boost of confidence and stuff. And then same thing on like in an RPG, you like beat a big boss or you're like grind to get that armor that you were like looking to try to get or whatever it is, you know what I mean? Like that sense of accomplishment in games is great, and it feels more obtainable than like getting some big promotion or something in real life to get a similar feeling, you know? So you get like a lot of sense of that sense of accomplishment. That's why I like games a lot.
I'm so much more energetic. Like I have so much more energy playing video games than doing anything else. Like anything else. I could be exhausted and I'm still like, all right, I'll play video games for 20 minutes. And then 20 minutes later, I'm like, all right, let's go. Another 2 hours. But I know that I couldn't do that because I'll wake up in the morning and just... So yeah, for me, I'm just hearing that I can play video games. That makes me excited.
Totally.
Marcus,
what makes you excited?
It's just knowing that it's time for me time.
Yeah. Me time
Like
is super important.
It sounds really funny to say it like this, but like I earned my gaming time today.
Yeah, and yesterday too, for sure.
Right, just in general. All right. Let me see.
So I put down...
There's a lot of these questions in the working class questions.
All right, let's move right along then.
Yep. What games do you prefer?
And then what type of games do you not enjoy as much? That I put that last one in there just from you're going to game for 12 hours a day question, because like I don't usually prefer platformers because I'm not good at them, whereas like an RPG or shooter I kind of like gravitate to. Like I'm naturally kind of pretty good at those, and then I can build from it. But like a platformer like Mario, I'm just terrible at. So that's why I don't enjoy those.
Yeah, I'm not going to answer them which ones I prefer because all of them. But
Yeah.
which ones do I not enjoy? Music games like Rock Band or Guitar Hero.
Oh, see, I fucking well, okay,
Yeah,
but
that's
to your
unlucky.
point, I don't like Guitar Hero. I'm sorry, I don't like Rock Band, but I love Guitar Hero. Like I used to play the
Interesting.
shit out of that. Talking about hours and hours of gameplay, I'd get out from school and like middle school and like early high school,
Yeah.
and I would just jam for like 3-4 hours.
Yeah, those were
Yeah.
good times.
Freebird! Freebird!
Slow ride.
Oh, that was easy. I had so I was
Yeah.
big into Metallica, like middle school, early at same time frame. Then
Okay.
right when they came out with the Metallica Guitar Hero, and I was like, "Let's go!" And all those songs like 7 minutes long and complicated as shit. Just playing on expert, just it was great.
It's time again for working class questions.
Yes.
Pause Lover says, favorite Pringle flavor? Mine is honey mustard.
Pizza and sour
Mine's
cream.
original. Oh, what is
damn it.
yours?
Pizza and sour cream are my.
Those were-
It's like literally tied.
Those were verbatim. That was exactly what I was going to say. Mine, honey mustard's a good call. However, yeah, pizza and sour cream and onion are fantastic.
Actually, I changed my answer. It's the Pickle Rick limited edition flavor.
Pickle
Those pickle ones are
Rick!
so good.
Mine is straight up original, but that's not really surprising because vanilla is
Dude.
my ice cream.
There you
That's
go.
just terrible.
Dude, I love them.
All right, Sylvie
You don't
asks.
you don't like any of the cheese flavors better?
No.
A
Truck,
barbecue?
SUV.
Barbecue's good too.
Or car.
All right, let's do this as a. We'll
Rapid
do
fire?
these. Yeah,
Rapid
rapid
fire?
fire. Let's go.
Sophie asked about 12 questions in a row. So, truck, SUV, or car? Go.
car.
SUV.
Jose Cuervo, Patron, or other.
Patron.
Other. I mean, mainstream tequila. I'm gonna do Don Julio, but
I am not allowed to drink tequila. Next, what
I
is
think-
your preferred whiskey if you have one? Blanton's.
I'm a Scotch guy. I like a nice Highland Scotch. I'm currently drinking Glendronach 12, but my favorite is Macallan.
Bullet and Pendleton.
Very nice. Alcohol or no alcohol?
Alcohol.
I mean,
Easy.
I like alcohol. I don't always like alcohol. I don't drink that at work, but
No alcohol beer.
yeah,
I look at that. It's like hard alcohol.
Oh, I see what you mean.
I see.
That's how I read it. Okay,
Okay.
soda or pop?
Soda.
Soda.
Who says pop? Like, what is this? 1940?
like Michigan.
People, yeah, Michigan. Yep.
What?
It's a
Yeah, they
Michigan
drink-
thing.
It's like we say wicked. They
Yeah.
say pop.
That's just
Yep.
weird.
Yeah, pop.
How many drinks for a buzz and how many for drunk? It honestly that question depends on the time frame for me.
Yep.
Like let's just say within 1 hour, okay? 1
Within
hour,
an
apples
hour?
to apples. Yeah, talk about beers or similar beverages versus like hard alcohol or something. I think
Two
for-
beer in an hour. 2 beers will give me a good buzz if I'm drinking an IPA.
Yeah.
Drunk, I'll shotgun 10 beers.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
like a comfortable. Yeah, I would say a comfortable buzz. 3 to 4 beers for like a light beer, and then probably 3. I'll go 3 for a light beer, and then like 2 IPAs. I'm in a good spot, similar spot, and then drinks would probably be like 2 scotches or something, or 2 like tequila sodas or whatever. Probably 2-ish in an hour is a good spot, and then drunk would be like 4 or 5 drinks, like tequila sodas or scotches, and then like 8 to 9 light beers in an hour, and I'm like drunk. Like,
yeah, I feel
Hey,
like
Trax, what do you
knock 1 or 2 off your numbers, and I'm probably around the same. I
Yeah,
feel like
like-
if it feels like we're going. Yeah, like it
it's
depends.
essentially based on size.
Well, and it also depends, like, have I been consuming the entire night and eating, or are we just straight shotgunning stuff? Because for me, I metabolize it, like, super fast, so I could drink,
Yeah.
like, 3 beers, maybe 4, and be, like, really, really buzzed and weird, like, pretty tipsy, but then be fine an hour or 2 later because I drank some water. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it balances out.
So-
and food makes a big difference too.
And
I'm
food.
sure it makes a difference if you order a mojito in March in Boston.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Griffins or hippogriffs?
Uh, gr- It's a hard question. I'm going to go with hippogriffs because I just played
I'll go
Harry
Griffins.
Potter.
Neither.
All right. Dragons. East, think Shenlong from Dragon Ball, or West, think typical D&D or Dragonheart.
West is best.
Yeah, I think of Western dragons more than Eastern ones, but Eastern dragons are also cool. It's like, what flavor of ice cream do you like? You know, I can like both strawberry
Vanilla.
and vanilla.
Pistachio.
I'm going to go with East. Do you think that we should try to work more on exploring our own planet and working on saving it, or looking more towards colonizing other worlds? Well, I'm going to go first. I think we should colonize other worlds because the Earth is flat.
Oh my God. He doesn't actually think that, everybody.
No, of course not.
The thoughts and opinions expressed by Marcus B814 are not necessarily the thoughts and opinions expressed by those of the working class nerds.
No, seriously, I think...
That's going in the intro too. All right.
I think that we should, if we have the technology to colonize other worlds, I think we should totally do that.
Yeah.
100%. Like 100%.
Agreed.
But I do think, honestly, I think we need to go up to Antarctica and start fucking digging through the ice, because I think some shit is up there.
Down there, you mean? It's in the
Either
South
or?
No.
I thought it was the North Pole.
I don't.
No, Antarctica's in the South Pole.
What's in the North Pole?
Ice. No land.
Yeah, well, we can't drive up there.
You can't drive to either spot.
No, there's like a border around it. Like, you can't cross this
Are you
line.
talking about flat Earth shit still?
No, I'm talking about the North Pole and South Pole. Like, there's like a barrier. Like, you can't go past this point.
There's water in the way. There's
ice.
water in both of them, and ice. Well, I mean, you can.
I just want to go to the tip.
All right.
I want to just go right to the tip.
You're all
And
about
animals and harsh weather
Yeah, just the
and
tip.
like
Yes,
it's not as easy as you think surviving down there. It's not just strolling through Limgrave and Elden
I wonder
Ring.
if you feel like you're walking upside down when you're there.
No, you. Oh my God. The things
This
you're
is the
saying are
best. Thank you, Sophie, for these questions, because this is just the best. I'm having so much fun with this.
This
You know what?
last like 2
Let's-
minutes are just a great example of like so stupid it hurts. I'm just like,
You know what?
Oh my
what?
God.
Well, Marcus just said, "Let's colonize other worlds. Get me out of here."
Yep, colonize
what did-
other worlds.
What did Farnsworth say? I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
What do you think of space mining of asteroids for materials? Yes.
Do
Space
it. Do it up.
mats.
Let's go. Less shit to potentially hit the Earth, and we get more stuff to make things. Let's go.
And maybe we can like assemble our own asteroids of crap we don't want and just huck them out in that place. You know, like
Yeah.
oh, this asteroid was totally still here. Haha.
Let's go. Scarlett asks, "Is this a speed run?" I don't know what Scarlett's referring to.
Yes, you do, from Guardian Downcast.
What?
The speed run.
It is.
Oh,
a
the
speed run.
questions.
Yes.
Yes, now I do. Sorry, Scarlett. Okay, I didn't.
Idiot.
Yep. That. Okay. All
right.
I'll take that one.
Quinn asks, what's the weirdest piece of Star Wars merchandise you've ever seen? Stuff like the Pez dispenser.
I mean, come on. Atrax, what's your answer?
Weirdest piece of Star Wars merchandise?
Yep.
I mean, okay. I'm gonna say I saw a Rebel toe ring. It had like the Rebel symbol on it, but it was like a toe ring, like specifically for toes. And I'm gonna say that's the weirdest, only because I can't imagine that having rings on your toes is very comfortable, or that it would stay in place very long, or I don't. That's the weirdest piece of merchandise that I've seen available, and it just had like the Rebel symbol on it, and it was like this tiny little ring. I was like, who would ever put this on their toe?
Nick?
Marcus, you go next because I have a good one.
Mine is the Star Wars Panini press that like imprints the fucking Millennium Falcon on your sandwich. Like, that's not going to make my kid eat the ham and cheese.
It'll
You're just
make
burning
me eat
the
a
logo
ham
on
and
it.
cheese, though.
So,
Like, that's the weirdest
I mean,
thing.
I actually I like that, the panini press or the waffle maker. Like the waffles are cool too.
Well, I didn't say
Waffle?
waffles.
Did you say waffle maker?
Like, I was
Exclamation point waffles.
Hold on a second. This is
It's all about the waffles. There's a waffle. Yeah, they have like a Millennium Falcon waffle maker, like a Death Star waffle
there's
maker.
A Death Star one. Oh, it's $60. Oh,
yeah, that's
it's-
always always been
$60.
That's always been my like gripe of like I see that in the store and be like, oh cool, the Millennium Falcon waffles, and it's like $79.99. I'm like, oh well, fuck that. I can buy the $12.99 regular waffle maker for
this one on Amazon is $20.
Did you see what I put in the chat?
Glow F yourself. It's a lightsaber dong.
That's success. That's my answer. Is
okay.
Star Wars
Of course.
sex toys like lightsaber dildos and vibrators. I was like, that's the weirdest thing that I've seen, but that's clearly not officially licensed. But still.
And have you actually seen that? Or I mean, I guess technically because
No,
it's on
I've
the
come
internet,
across
but
it because I was looking
really?
up like
Okay.
custom lightsabers on Etsy or whatever. Just like
wow,
custom
that is a
lightsabers,
custom
like,
lightsaber.
and that was certainly custom. Where the blade is just a vibrating dildo.
May the dong be with you.
Hey Marcus, would you say you like the Millennium Falcon or the Death Star better?
Neither.
Neither.
Death Star, do it.
Death Star.
Probably
Okay.
the Falcon actually. I don't
Falcon.
know. I feel like he's a light side household.
No, definitely not. Anyways, the R2-D2 from Star Trek, so if he wants to know. Star Trek is
What?
dumb.
Why do you the R2D2 from Star Trek 2009? What are you even talking about? There's an R2D2 in Star Trek?
No, who cares? It's Star Trek.
Right. There's a film in 2009. This is way over my head. I don't
Yeah,
get
that's
it.
way over my head. Sovi asks, well, Sovi, you're the best. Have you ever made yourself a bowl of ice cream and then just played with it until it was a milkshake because that is what you actually wanted?
Yeah.
I actually usually prefer actual ice cream over a milkshake, but I get it. I've done that probably once or twice in my life, but not frequently.
I've been gaming where I wanted ice cream and I just grabbed the half-gallon tub and grabbed a spoon.
Oh yeah.
And then ate a quarter of the thing and then just left it there. Next time you look at it, it's just soup.
And you're like, fuck, I should have put that back in the fridge.
Yeah, and then you put it in the freezer and it's never the same again.
No, because it loses all the air and stuff and it's all screwed up.
Right.
Atrax, you ever do that?
Oh yeah, all the time. I love it.
You just melted ice cream?
Just as soon as it's in there, you just whip it up with the spoon real quick, make it into a milkshake kind of deal.
Oh, this is a good question. Rayu asks, what brought each of you into gaming?
I think I've answered this on a previous episode where we did like a deep dive why we started gaming or something. But I originally got into gaming because it was a way for me to bond with my dad. I think primarily because he would he had this on our at one point he was taking computer science classes. And we had the family computer in a closet. So
it was the Gateway 2000.
Yeah, it was old computer, and it was the forbidden room. You can't go in there. Because the special computer, don't touch the computer, whatever. And then, but once my dad was done with homework or whatever and playing video games, I had to be like, hey, come on in, check out the video games. And then it was us playing games together got me into it. And then I played arcade games, and then everywhere we went that there was I thought I heard a bang behind me. Everywhere we went that there was an arcade, I always wanted to do it, and then it went from there, How about you guys? What got you into gaming?
Rumor has it that when my mom was in the hospital giving birth to me, and when they were, just as I guess women are in the hospital, then she was playing games, whether it was a Game Boy or they brought in, I think it was the N64 or maybe the NES into into her hospital room. And all that stuff. So gaming has been in my family since before I was born. And right with me, just my grandpa built me a computer when I was young that ran Windows 97 so I could play Hot Wheels Stunt Track Driver and Freddy Fish and all that good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, shout out to the family for bringing me into gaming. And, yeah, that's my story.
Awesome.
Marcus?
It was Super Mario Brothers. I remember I went over to somebody's house and they had it. Oh no, It was Super Mario Brothers 3. It was one of my mother's friends, and we would go over to his house, and they would drink and smoke cigs and whatever, and I would just play his Nintendo Super Mario 3, and I would be occupied, and that's what kickstarted me.
Nice.
Why have you kept gaming? That's a great question.
Why have I kept? I mean,
awesome.
I feel like I talked about that motivation earlier when I talked about why we game. But
Marcus?
I do it because I like being social.
Fair enough.
All right. What's your greatest gaming memory?
Oh, that's a tough question.
I have two. I can go.
Okay.
The first one is beating Darth Revan on hard mode in SWTOR.
Yep.
Like, we worked on that boss for a long fucking time, months. And then the other one, it's not just one memory, it's multiple memories of getting in the Modern Warfare 2 lobbies with my friends.
Yep.
And the toxicity that came out of those lobbies was the most amazing thing ever.
Yes, it was.
Like, the shit that was said, like, the people now that never played back then have no clue what it was actually like. And, like, if you get upset, butthurt that somebody tells you to shut up on Xbox Live, like, dude, that's like, I remember somebody saying that they were going to rape my dog. Like, and I'm like, what, dude?
Yep.
Did you just say that? Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, and that was calm for what those
you
old
hear
Modern
that?
Warfare
What's that?
2 lobbies
It's your
were.
dog squealing because I'm banging it in the booty. You know what I mean? Like, it was out of control back then.
Totally out of control, yeah.
Yeah, it was wild.
I think that's a good answer. Like, I think some of my best gaming memories are logging on to Modern Warfare 2 with, like, the whole paintball team. And, like, there's, like, 10 or 12 of us. So, yeah, exactly. You'd be, like, trying to get in that first 10 to go play Ground War. And then if you got relegated to the second team, you're like, oh, it was, like, 6 people or whatever.
Yeah, you're not leveling up tonight.
Right.
Yep.
But, that, probably playing games with my dad. And then some of the, like, the moments where I got, like, rated on stream I was super grateful for. Especially, I just think of Bruin recently. That was awesome. Especially because so much of his community hung out for, like, most of my stream. And then Chimeri rated me right when I was trying to get affiliate, and that definitely pushed me over the edge, and I appreciated that a lot. But I, like, even knew in the moment he rated me with, like, I don't know, a lot of people.
Well, see,
it
that's
pushed my average over, and it just, like, that, like, made me hit affiliate, and I was like,
but
that's
cool. That's a different. See, that's, if we're talking like that, I'm just thinking straight up gaming.
Yeah, it's tough for me to. I mean, I have a lot of fun memories. I remember, like, playing a ton of Skyrim and the Fallout games in the basement during the summer when I had, like, tons of time and the whole house to myself, or, like, going after school, playing with my neighbors. Like, I would go over to my neighbor's house after I got off the bus till my parents got home at some grade levels, I forget. And they had a Sega Genesis and a Super Nintendo, so, like, we would play Mario World 3 or, like, Zombies Ate My Neighbors on Sega or whatever, like, just, like, cool games like that. So that was fun too. But
Earthworm Jim.
I never played Earthworm Jim, but that's definitely
I didn't either. I played Worms.
All right, what about you, Atrax?
Yeah, so all the times that my dad and I went to the arcade to play dance games like DDR and Pump It Up, and meeting all those cool people at the arcade. And then I consider this a gaming memory, PAX, because
I should have said PAX.
If I wasn't such a gamer and I didn't play so many when I was growing up, and then now, like, just carrying it through, like, I've never stopped gaming. I've always kept on gaming, and just playing a ton of them. Then because of that, I feel like I could be here and be at PAX. You know, like, all of that has just kind of accumulated. So for me, PAX was really, really special, and just, yep, that's a gamer hub right there.
Yeah, definitely.
Sovi asks, what do you game on?
Yes. All of them.
I primarily game on a PC. I do also own a PS5 and a Switch, though, but I don't use those nearly as often. Marcus?
I'm going to say yes. I have an Xbox a Switch and a PC, and I play on them all because of my kids.
Yep.
What
was your first system? My first ever system was a GameCube, and then a PlayStation 2, and then an Xbox 360. Although, well, I will say my first system, gaming device that I had that was actually mine was a Game Boy original that I got like as a hand-me-down present at Christmas, which was cool. And then I got a Game Boy Color, and then the GameCube.
My first system was the Game Boy original, but then Sega Genesis.
Nice.
Game Boy Color for me, N64, and quite a few others, but I'll just leave it at those.
Sophie asks, have you ever watched Division 2 Paintball? Well, as a matter of fact, yes, I have.
Yes, I have.
I have.
Yeah. Wait, when did you watch it, A-Trax?
When after the episode, I was like, I wonder what it looks like. And I watched, 20, 25 minutes of it.
Oh, no kidding. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Have you ever gamed with anything unusual? I heard someone beat Elden Ring using an old dance pad.
I did use those old matte dance pads, and they suck, by the way.
I bet. I haven't played the wrong game with something like that, but I've played. Remember that bongo game? It was like Donkey Kong bongos for the GameCube.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I played that game, the actual bongo game. That was weird, but I haven't played that. I didn't use the bongos on something else.
Tony Hawk Ride.
Tony Hawk Ride?
Yeah, that was the Tony Hawk game with the actual skateboard.
Oh, yes. I remember that. Okay. What's the next question, Marcus? Or what? Have you ever used a weird controller?
Oh.
Yeah. I usually stick with the normal interface.
What is your preferred gaming snack / beverage?
I usually like a water and then something sweet. Like a liquid IV or like a Arizona iced tea or Arnold Palmer or something. I usually like a 2 beverage combo, like water and something like that.
Yeah.
Mine's coffee and water, and I love trail mix.
Yeah. Gaming snack, I usually like to get a real sandwich. But I don't like. I do love Doritos and chips, but I feel like that they don't.
Wait, what do you like?
Doritos and chips.
Doritos!
R.I.P. your eardrums after that.
Let's go.
I do like those, but they and Cheetos and that crunchy, the Utz snack mix. That's all the cheesy flavors.
Yeah,
that's really good, but I don't like. It's tough to game with that because it just screws up your hands. I have got used chopsticks with it before, but it's not the same.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with peanut butter pretzels.
Okay.
And beverage. Lately, I've been enjoying the ginger beer. That's been pretty good, or ginger ale. But water or juice. There's a lot of good ones.
Usually like that. I mean, sometimes I do like an alcoholic beverage, but
every Monday night.
Every Monday night, I have something in the Tiki Lorian for sure. Speaking of which, my emotes should be almost done. I did order new emotes. I didn't talk about that during the week.
Woohoo!
One of which is a Tiki Lorian emote. What game did everybody answer?
Yes.
What game or franchise have you stuck with the longest?
SWOTOR.
Tetris.
Probably.
When was the last time you played Tetris?
No, 2 weeks ago.
All right, fair enough. Probably Call of Duty. It would be a franchise I've stuck with the longest, but honorable mention to the Bethesda Elder Scrolls and Fallout games.
Yeah. I'll say shout out to RuneScape as well.
Oh yeah, back in the day for sure. What franchise has your favorite lore? Actually, Mark. Oh, you answered. Okay.
Wow,
that's a really good question.
Franchise is your favorite lore? That Fallout for me. Star Wars is a tough second, but I think Fallout's the coolest lore.
Fuck, it's a really I can't. It's either Bungie, it's either Destiny or SWOTOR. Destiny's lore is fucking insane.
Yeah, I get that. A-Trax, what do you think?
I like WoW's lore. WoW's lore is pretty extensive and deep. If you want something that you can just dive into. But I will also say that the From Software games, Dark Souls, Sekiro, Bloodborne, Elden Ring, all those games have super, super good lore. Neo too as well.
Very good.
And Ryu asks, how do you feel about the ESRB rating system and what would you change about it?
Nothing.
I think it's working fine.
Yeah.
I don't feel as if it's offensive to me, the game ratings, because I'm an adult, but I have been in the store when kids try to go buy a mature rated game and they're like, can I see your ID? Or, you know what I mean?
Whatever,
how old are you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they won't sell the 13-year-old kid Grand Theft Auto. I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, I also agree. I feel like there are some themes that you should have to either have your parent with you or be old enough. You know, like there has to be a limit for some themes, right? Like we can all agree that some themes just aren't for kids or even young teens. Like,
well, it's like flying on JetBlue and you get HBO and you can watch Game of Thrones and it's like a pop-up comes, are there kids around you? Like, should you be watching like, why would you offer Game of Thrones on a freaking plane?
Right.
Like,
you know what I mean?
Sex
Like
and
there's
nudity and
exactly, and like heads
dicks.
getting chopped off. Yeah. Like, yeah. Anyways,
full on.
I'm gonna read this one because Scarlett's a jerk.
Okay.
Scarlett says, "How do you feel?
How did it feel?
How did it feel to get a stasis block in Deep Stone Crypt?" So there's a subclass in Destiny called stasis, which is all about ice.
Okay.
And you can make like a wall of ice so that nobody can run through it unless they shoot it and break it. And there's a part in this fight where once you beat the mechanics of the fight, you jump down a hole and you have to run away because the guy's going to set off a nuclear bomb.
Okay.
And you need to get to like this room that's like vacuum sealed. And when I was running, I was the last one. And they put up a stasis crystal wall up. And they stopped me from going in the room, and I died because of it, and they all thought it was hilarious.
I saw the clip. Scarlett, thank you for sending me the clip. It is, in fact, hilarious.
I haven't seen it yet.
I'll send it to you. Wabbit asks, our last question of the episode. What is the first game you played that made you realize games could be more than just a toy, for lack of a better word, but something quite serious and interesting?
The day I got to meet Doc in Kogus before we drove to New York City.
Yeah, for
like,
the cantina.
Yeah, like, and I'm not saying that like that was like when I fell in love with it, but like that's when the gaming got serious. Like I know these dudes from across the country. And that we're driving together, and like, it's not awkward at all because, like, sure, like the first time you meet somebody for like the first like 3 minutes, it's a little awkward. But like once you start talking, it's like you're in a Discord call,
right?
Or like we're talking right now. Like I know this person,
right? I don't know that I got that feeling, but it's like I realized it could be more than just a toy or something. Something like
I think
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think the idea is, at least I'm understanding it, that it's not just like, oh, you know, you're just playing, you're just fidgeting with something, you know, but it's more of you're activating your brain, you're thinking, you're using critical thinking skills and having to reason, you know, like it's not just mindless clicking buttons.
Yeah.
But there's thought behind it.
I think I got a lot of that feeling with Legend of Zelda Wind Waker because I could not get past the first dungeon and I had to have my cousin on my mom's side to help me with it. Like to get by that first dungeon, I forgot the island, but it's like you break out of prison essentially. And like I just couldn't do it. Like I really tried and could not do it. And I just like couldn't sneak past the guards and stuff. And then like the rest of the game you're fine cuz it's like you're fighting through puzzles or whatever. But I could not figure out how to sneak out of there for the life of me. So I was like, damn, this is actually hard. It's not just like this little like flashy lights or whatever. And then
Yeah.
I think that got reinforced when I played like the next big RPG that I played, which was probably Skyrim. So I was like, oh, this is a lot more in depth. Like games can be a lot more in depth than just like Medal of Honor, where you're just shooting the Nazis, and then or whatever, or the early Call of Duty games. That's what I've been was playing a lot of before, or like Guitar Hero. I don't know if I'd play Guitar Hero at that point, but you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But my previous gaming experience was a lot more shallow, and then I played Skyrim and was like, oh, these can be really in depth. Like I get it now,
Right. For me, I think it was when I started getting into the physical rhythm games. So I played Guitar Hero and stuff like that. But then when I started playing Dance Dance Revolution and Pump It Up, and I realized that, oh, this is exercise. This isn't just, it's not just, it is kind of a game, but also at the same time, you need to have rhythm in order to play the game, because you need to hit the steps you need to hit the notes at the right time. And you need to have some level of physicality, because there's a lot of steps and you got to move your feet pretty quickly. So for me, that was kind of, okay, well, now it's exercise and it's also a game. So what other ways could you adapt games to be quote unquote useful? Could you have a game that could train your brain to, do math or type letters on your keyboard? Or now we have simulations, so there's simulators that can train you how to, more or less how to fly a plane, or how to, do all sorts of different things. So for me, that was kind of the first feeling of, oh, it's a little bit more than a game. It's not just, clicking buttons, playing video games.
Yeah, I totally get you. Well, thank you all for listening to this Working Class Nerds podcast, the official podcast of the best Division II paintball team on the East Coast, Malicious.
What are you guys talking about in here?
Find out next episode of Working Class Nerds.